hostess with the mostest.
It's the songs. It's the songs.
Diva.
Every week is a different song.
I do that for you because I know you want to do your meditationals on the piano.
Meditation. That the word of the day?
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Nadiva. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button and share because sharing is caring. But we are back.
I don't know who Karen is, but she keeps showing up to this show.
Well, Karen is over.
We definitely don't want Karen.
We don't want Karen, but we do want my two beautiful co-hosts. Shout out, big huge shout out, or not shout out, but huge thank you to Delise for coming on. How you doing today,
I am so well. My Saurus will know what that means. Sorry.
What is that?
When I went like this.
Oh, yeah?
It's an Aka thing, AKA.
Oh, shout out to the AKAs. Always wanted to be in my head. I love when you do that. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I like
So
your
do
money
you.
green.
Thank you. And my green glasses. They're dark green.
That's
but
another
they-
AKA
Oh, they are?
thing.
Oh, okay. I see
Yes.
that. I see that. And the lips are popping. The hair is
Yes.
popping. I love it. You look
Thank you.
beautiful.
Appreciate it. Did you tell me I was beautiful too?
I was waiting till she finished. I don't
okay.
interrupt grown folk conversation. I'll wait. Listen, you ain't need to hear a whole bunch of accolades. I want your head to get any bigger than hers already is, okay? We got one Diva on the show. We don't need more than one.
Well, without further ado, let's introduce Mr. Michael Parker. How you doing, Michael?
Oh, look, okay, I'm going to just say this now. I got a lot going on, so if you see me looking down, I'm not being disrespectful. I got a lot going on. Just give me a second, and I'll be right to you. But I'm okay. I'm okay.
If you're looking down, you sure you're not praying?
Maybe that's that's what
in heavy
no
meditation?
will not do that. What my mother used to do, like, babe, mom, you sleep? No, I was praying. My mother used to do that all the time.
That's right.
But mom, you was snoring? No, I was speaking in tongues.
Yes, stop bobbing.
So everything's good, girl. We got a lot going on.
What?
We got a lot going.
Music?
Just the music, the weddings, the bar mitzvahs, the l'chaim, the shaloms, all that stuff.
Well,
So
that's
the
good.
time.
it's the time.
It
It's
is
the
the
time.
time.
That
It's
sounds
the
like
time.
money to me.
It's money, but ooh,
It's a little stressful.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of
a
work.
lot of
So
driving.
be careful what you ask for. I asked God for it, and He gave it to me. He backed the truck up. I was like, okay, remember what you asked for?
Yeah.
That's good.
Sometimes you get what you prayed for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it's
and
like,
then some.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
But
Because he said, you ready?
you ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's all good. I'm glad to be here.
Well, you look handsome doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
See the overbite?
Shut up. You so stupid. You got that gray popping, too. I love it.
I got complimented too by an African brother. I don't know your name, but thank you, brother. It made me feel good. He's like, brother, I like that. I was like, thank you, brother.
You're gray?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah. I remember.
really?
I remember when you didn't have gray.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
Back down memory lane.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now that song is in my head.
Good,
They
let
heard
it
a
stick in
photograph.
there.
Was she all pitch in that song? She killed it. Whoever that lady was that sang that song, she was like, I heard a photograph. Like, ooh, she must have been pretty. She said, look at there, look at there.
She reminded me of Minnie
Ooh.
Rippleton a little bit.
Yeah, but Minnie could sing. I don't know who that broad was. She was, ooh. Back down memory lane. I don't know who she was. She must have been pretty and light skinned today.
Well,
they
let's
used to give
we'll
y'all them
Google
songs.
her and see
Google
what she'll
her.
look like. Let's Google her.
Y'all
But
pretty one, the
let's
light-skinned ones.
But let's get back to the script.
See
You
the
know what I'm
light
saying?
skin
Let's
thing?
get back to
See
this
the light skin?
topic.
See the light skin? See that right there?
I'm Carmel. I'm Carmel. But we got a great show for you today and a great topic, and we're going to be switching things up a little bit today. Today, we're just going to delve right in our topic today. All right, so y'all stay with us. Just make sure if you got your, make sure you got your beverage in your hand, your dinner, your boo, you know, because we about to delve right into it. But
Jump right into
today's
it.
Diva Table Topic is...
Nice.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Nice.
For real, Marvin?
Now, I like to do
Thank
the first one.
you.
Keep the first one.
No. How do you identify the expiration date in a relationship? And why do people stay past that date? Why they stay?
They say for a lot of reasons.
Well, we got some reasons on here. We gonna get into it with some reasons and maybe some of our own experiences. But you might be in in a relationship right now, and the date is there, and you're like, "Dag, Nadia, you speaking to me right now?" Well, stay tuned because we got some good things to share. But we also have a word of the day. And our word of the day is bedabble. Bedabble. And that means to make something wet or dry. You know, I have my new hair today, and I had to bedabble it with some of my new conditioning spray. So yeah, it's doing some things in the front right now, but it's about to be bedabbled even more at our next break. Did I do that right?
I guess you did. I'm just not used to something being wet and dry at the same time. It's like a conundrum.
It is.
And the Bible said you could either be hot or cold. I'd rather you be hot or cold, not that in the middle, because you spew out your mouth. You got to figure it out. You wet it.
It's wet and dry.
It's curly.
Okay.
It's curly, but it's like it's,
You feel, you know what it is? You feel it because you're thinking about it. We don't see the wetness. I don't see the wetness.
well, yeah, it's a little damp. It's a little damp.
Looks, you got the baby hairs though.
Yeah, I got little baby hairs. I'm working through it. I did it myself today, so just pray for me, y'all. But how you could also use it in this sentence is after leaving the gallery, the model bedabbled in paint.
Ding ding.
So she was wet or dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Wet or dirty?
Oh, did I say dry or wet? Oh, I said dry. I'm sorry. It's dirty.
Right. So that's why I didn't
so
understand.
no. I didn't bedabble my hair with dirt.
Wait, hold on. Okay,
Sorry,
so that's proof
I
we
read
got
that wrong.
a grown woman. She said, "Wet or dirty?"
Listen, it was my birthday.
Her face, no. I'm talking about
Delise face. Why didn't y'all correct me?
We were waiting for you to get past that part, so we could.
I'm
And
sorry.
I ain't got my glasses on, so I didn't see it either or. So
I just turned 44, so I'm getting up there. My eyes. Thank you.
baby.
I might have to get my. Thank you, Marvin.
Let me see.
I might have to get more prescription in my glasses. Yeah, I'm getting up there.
Oh no, I can see perfectly with your glasses. That's
Really?
fine, yeah. Wow. What's your strength? I can
The
see great.
shortest one, the lowest one.
Wow. Yeah, I have glasses, but they don't do like this.
Look, you about to stretch my glasses out with your head now.
Yeah, all that hair you
Okay.
got, you fine.
All right, but that's what we got going on today, and we do have some stats on this topic. Okay, so the topic, as I said before, was how do you identify the expiration date in a relationship, and why do people stay past that date? And I did some research at the womenosophy.com, and I did a little bit of stats, and they had about, let me see, I think it was 8 reasons why people stay in these relationships.
Let's hear it.
The first one is you think you can't live without him. And I know that's a big one. That's a big one. It goes on to say the biggest and the most common reason why so many people stay in dead-end relationships is through the years of your cohabitation, you've gathered infinitely many common memories, experiences, fun moments, and you just have no will to give it up. Now, this stuff is always so lovely that it holds us down like an anchor, which is very true. Another reason why people stay is you don't want to be alone. That's a big one. Number 3 is you don't want to hurt your partner's feelings. Number 4 is, and that's also people pleasing. Number 4 is you appreciate this kind of stability. What that means is we love security, but this kind of stability sucks up your energy and time. Relationships are not essential for survival. Bad relationships are definitely more harmful to you than no relationship at all. Don't think of what the morning will look like when you wake up alone. Number 5 is you hope that your relationship will change. And, people stick it out to see if there will be any divine interventions, God softening your man's heart. Number 7 is you are afraid to start a new relationship. So when you start a new relationship, you have to set rules, agreements, and get accustomed to the person anew. But this is really tiresome and exhausting for some people, and that's why most people decide not to leave. And number 8 is you have a full-fledged family. And they go on to say on this website, we don't want to deprive children of a father, since a nuclear family is the pledge of their happiness and success. But you tell me honestly, how can your children be happy if there is no love between the two of you? It's much healthier and wiser to leave the person you don't love anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I have to agree on that.
Yeah, and that works both ways, not just, from the woman's perspective, but it also works from the male perspective as well.
Right. Yeah.
It's real important to know, just like if you have meat in your refrigerator, it has an expiration date. And if you eat it past the expiration date, chances are you're going to get sick.
You'll get sick.
So it happens in relationships too. You're unhappy. You're sad. You're depressed. You're broken. You have to know for yourself what makes sense.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I feel coming from and having girlfriends that have divorced, they had to make that tough decision. Like, what's more important? I mean, I know the old school thinking is you stick and you stay.
Right.
Right? But we coming out of that old school thinking,
Right.
and women are definitely, and men are speaking up, and regardless whether there's children involved, they're saying, okay, what are we exposing our children to?
Right.
Because we're not living a loving, healthy, successful relationship.
Right.
Right? So sometimes the best thing for the kids is to separate.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And maybe get
I
into a
agree.
healthier relationship with someone else who can be a better example.
I agree.
What do you think about some of these reasons that they mentioned?
The reasons always hit home because we've all, in some shape or form in my life, have gone through all of those. So I'm identifying all those reasons, especially with the expiration date. And we as people who have been, I guess, like hungry sometimes, we look at the expiration date and we also look at the sell-by date.
Right.
So we're always playing with that. All right, if I let it go a little bit longer, and I had it in the freezer. But it's
Right.
like, whoa, but you still subject to whatever you do, whatever you have, or whatever decision you've made when you go ahead and cook it.
Right.
Because when it's past that date. So
Exactly.
and God has a way of saying, I told you now, and giving you warnings, giving you signs, giving you words or prophecies or however you want to look at it. Because a lot of the time we're like, well, that don't really apply to me. No. It applies to you because you've been warned. And when it happens, you've been warned. So that kind of hit home because I looked at a certain point in my life when God said, all right, leave that alone. And I was like,
And you ain't listen?
but I'm saying no. I'm saying no. Maybe if I cook it, put a little salt on it, it'll kill it. Nah, baby. When you ate that, it hit your stomach. Your stomach was like, oh, really? Okay, go ahead over there.
You going to your Cat Williams, right? Heavenly
Yeah.
Father,
Heavenly Father,
this is your
yeah.
humble
Yeah.
servant.
Oh, Lord.
Your servant
Right.
is a
The
little
Lord
bit
said
of
no.
bear.
Right.
You said
I'm gonna
it
sit back here
aloud.
with these pit bulls.
Right. I love it when, I don't love it when you're experiencing it, but sometimes when it's a no and you know it's a no, but you continue or you pursue it anyway, God will make that situation so horrible that He'll make it no for you, expose the no for you that you have no other choice but to walk away from it. Like, okay, I surrender. I'm
I've
done
been
with
quietly yelled at. Nothing's worse than being quietly yelled at by God. And you can hear it, but he's not talking loud. He's like, well, I told you. And stop yelling at me. I'm like, stop yelling at me. Stop. I hear you. Okay, I've been driving and had somebody in the car with me. I was like, okay, you can stop yelling at me now. And my wife was like, I'm not talking to you. I was like, no, it's me and God. She's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You can
It's
stop yelling at me now.
It's important for you to identify what that expiration or what that timeline is. Like, what are you seeing in the relationship, in the friendship, in the job opportunity, where you work? What are you seeing that's letting you know I need to come up with another plan?
Right.
I know I had to make an exit, from a marriage years ago. You know about this. But I couldn't just make my exit because I needed a plan. I needed to get my money together. I needed to know what my next steps were. So in that case, I stayed past my expiration date, but I had to have a plan. So, it's important to have things organized so that if you have to go, you know what your next is.
And then there's nothing wrong with that. I've also been in a situation where, and I think another reason could be that people stay is they just can't accept that their partner could potentially meet somebody else. Because that could be a reason
you
why
don't want to
people
see
stay.
what you should have had somebody else getting.
Yeah.
Well, they have to develop that so long.
But
That's
what
right.
happens though, you invested so much into the dream that was yours, and then you're saying, I don't want somebody else to experience that dream, not knowing or not coming to the realization that was never your dream. That was never yours to have. That was a dream. It wasn't reality.
Right.
And you start seeing someone else walking in their reality. It's their reality. It's not your reality. It was your dream. And sometimes our mind can't get the differentiate. If I had the whole cup of coffee, I would be able to say that word. But your mind can. Thank you. Our mind can split the two, and it's one is reality and one is fantasy.
Right.
So staying past the due date of a relationship makes you say it gets you I guess try to recreate or write a script of a movie that you weren't even supposed to star in.
Right.
So
like Snap.
Right, and you're going to be emotionally bedabbled when you leave the relationship. Because you're going to be either wet or dirty.
All right, there you
then.
go.
I still got to get the understanding of that word, wet or dirty. What's the difference? Did you suds up and then rinse off, or what is that?
I have no idea.
I'm still trying to figure out its definition of that word.
Bedaddled?
Yeah.
Bedabble?
Is it like bedazzle?
No, because somebody's about to come in with
I
a
could
bedazzle.
think of something wet and dirty.
Nope,
That's
we're not
okay.
doing that. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
Right.
Where DA's at with the stuff?
I ain't got that issue,
Why
but
don't
I'm
we
just
just
saying.
go to your bedazzled
Come
items
save us, girl.
and
We
skip to that?
we got merchandise
Let's
we
go
could be
there.
talking
Yeah,
about.
let's go there.
Go ahead and stuff it. No, there she go. Woo.
Here she is, your.
Here come the foolishness.
Yeah. Dee Dee's Corner.
Used to it now. I really like it.
Dee Dee's Corner.
Nice.
Yo, she gonna be dropping a rhyme on that beat one of these days, y'all.
I'm gonna give you a whole collective view of like rhymes and merchandise at the same time. You guys, look out. Okay?
Please, God, if you ever love me,
to help-
God, just save me from the foolishness that is, because I can't. Well, I must say, though, I love this outfit on Dee. Where's she at? I love this. This
Isn't
is
it nice and classy? I
It's kind of
love
like
it.
it's like
I
a
love
classic,
it.
like what, baby, we making fish and chicken. Come on here, come get some of this over here. The collard greens.
I feel like you know how you have recessional at the end of a service.
Oh, recession. Okay. We in a recession.
I'm
A
right
recession.
there, and like oh Lord, we're not talking about. Now I know Mom probably got you this
She
month.
told
I know
God.
she did. I know she did. But you know what? With that inflation,
Inflation.
you know.
She got you on that inflation, Michael?
Right.
I got separation
Mom,
anxiety. I don't like to give away
keep
money. I don't like it.
Keep doing it. And
No.
buy. You know, let's get into it.
Get to it.
To help my lovely co-host with Bedabble.
Yes.
Yes. Don't worry about your QR sticker getting bedabbled by your tea. Okay? It's waterproof.
Oh, God.
Go
Check
ahead
it
and
out.
keep scanning it.
Yeah.
And tune in. Go ahead and tune in.
Uh-huh,
to
tune
every
in.
show on Untitled Chapter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it, y'all.
songs?
Get it. Like it's rubbing off. I mean, we gotta be creative. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
get with it.
I just
Get with it.
We gotta be
You know, let me
creative.
bust him upside the head with his favorite cup
Yes, the 10.
and go ahead.
But if I wake up before Thursday, I'll be really mad at you.
What is happening?
Let me knock him out
said.
for at least a few hours. At
least a couple
I
hours.
have to take that time to go
No,
shopping.
no.
the card
That makes
from
you a
the pocket.
co-defendant. That makes you a co-defendant. Don't do
She
that.
gonna knock him to
Don't do
sleep.
that.
And while she's shopping, she's gonna grab one of these lovely aluminum cups and straws for you to sip and keep hydrated all day. I know these hot waves, these summer waves have been catching you.
Yes.
So you want to stay hydrated, keep that cool for 8 hours. You can go ahead and personalize it on the back.
Yes, you can.
Just click the link, put in your description, all the things that you would like on your bottle, and we'll get it to you. All right?
Good stuff.
Thank you, Deasia, Miss Purdy. Yeah, she gonna make this segment her own each and every time. So get ready for that, Michael. All right, but
no.
yeah, y'all gotta reach out to me. Check me out at diningwithnadiva@gmail.com with any shirt sizes or any personalized or custom made things you would like on your stainless steel thermos, and we'll get it right out to you. And there's my Cash App below as well. All right, but thank you so much for that, Deasia. We got how many more minutes on this topic? Oh, okay. All
Got
right.
a whole topic.
Yeah, we got like this feel good. Well, I know for me, I've been in a situation personally where, you know, you like y'all was saying, you hear God God is telling you, he's showing you all the signs. And I'm the type of daughter where he got to show me signs and wonders for me to actually get it,
to pay attention.
Right, because I have a hard head with a soft. And so I've been in a relationship where I was fighting so hard, thinking that, okay, this person's going to change, or I've invested so much of my money. I've invested so much of my time. Then I'm thinking about marriage. I can't redo this. We're already over a year in this, So all these little things that have factored in, but God was putting a monkey wrench in it every single time. He was showing me things within my relationship that just, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. So God literally plucked me out of there miraculously. And I was able to spend a whole year just one-on-one with him to help, because I knew I was in pain. I knew it was something else besides me just wanting to stay with this man. It was something else from my childhood. And I think it was because it was abandonment issues that I was afraid of. And that's what made me stick and stay in the relationship. But when I took that time off and that year with God, he was able to restore so much more faith in me and remind me that, my happiness and my joy doesn't come through man. It comes through God. Right. And he will always be able to protect me and cover me. And my prayer changed in my relationships now. I want discernment when I'm going out and meeting people. And I haven't been in a relationship since this relationship, and that was back in 2016 because I'm taking my time. I was able to identify the expiration date and move. I didn't move the first time, but I did eventually move, and it saved my life. It saved my life. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for having that relationship with God.
And I think it's real important for you to know yourself, know what your needs are, not just what your desires are and what you hope for, but what are your needs? What do I need? And when my needs are not being met, is it something that I'm doing? Am I not communicating? Because to think that you can change someone or hope that someone will change is a dead-end street.
Right.
It's hard enough to change yourself.
Yeah.
So how on earth can you change someone else?
Do you think that it's more of a struggle for women with that expiration date than it is for men?
I've never been a man, so I can't speak about
well, then you can answer that question for the man.
I could just say for a woman,
I need a minute.
Is that not true? I've never been a man, so I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
answer that question for me.
I'm just saying from a woman's perspective, I do think that because we are emotional beings,
Thank you, Jesus.
Right? And so we put our heart on the table very early. Although we say that we don't, we put our heart on the table. We are fully exposed, of our heart, our emotions, our thoughts, our money. When we come, we show up with everything.
Right.
And so I do think that when you show up with everything from the very beginning, it is really hard to say, and now I'm going to walk away, because you're so vulnerable and you shared so much. It's almost like you've been exposed, and now you know everything about me, and now I have to start this over again. And now I have to heal first and then start over. So I do know from a woman's perspective that walking away is not the easiest thing to do.
Right. I agree. You're right, because we are emotional.
Right, but in many cases, it's necessary just for your own mental health and sanity.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to say, that's it.
I think
I'm
also,
done.
too, because women are supposedly homemakers. And when you build a home and you've pushed out the children, it's like, and now you're noticing all these things that are happening in the relationship. It's like, wow,
you gotta be careful with that statement though, because Jake's just got in a whole bunch of trouble for saying something like that. Did y'all don't hear the controversy about Jake's? Watch it, just pull it up. TD Jakes, part of his sermon, and there's this viral things that just go viral for no reason at all. And we as seasoned veterans or seasoned saints. Not say that. Seasoned saints understand the official nature of the pulpit, and we also know how to chew the meat and spit out the bones. And you said women are what was it about
designed? I should say designed to be homemakers.
And I can respect that statement from you, and understand exactly what you mean by that statement. But he got in trouble by saying we're raising our women to be in the position to be men. And as a woman, women who have been in the understanding the power of the pulpit and understanding what he meant by it, society says you got to be sensitive to that because we're different. We have different outlooks on it now. Mm-hmm. But you said women are designed to be homemakers because the first life that outside of the womb that a child understands is the mom. Mm-hmm. So I understood that, and I completely understood what you meant by it. But society be like, well, but men can be mothers too.
Of course.
But the first voice I'm going to hear when I come out of the womb, outside of the doctor saying is the mom. But y'all watch the controversy. I respect
I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like men are hunters and the women are gatherers. Right? I think we've just been designed that way. But can men do a woman's? Absolutely. Can a woman be out there hunting and bringing in the bacon? Absolutely. But like you said, I mean, look, nothing against the gay and lesbian community at all, but we still haven't developed a way for a man to carry a child. So if women are still pushing out babies, I would hope to think the child, like you said, would identify mostly with that mother's, that motherly, maternal thing that they're drawn to. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm. I understand what you're trying to say. It's almost as if you are saying that you can have a house, but a woman is going to make it a home. Mm-hmm. And that there is something about the way that we are built that once we put our love and touch and warmth on it, it morphs into something different. And I get that. But the bottom line is that there is an expiration date for everything, whether that expiration is death.
That's true.
Right? There is an expiration date to everything, for everything, because for everything there is a season. And when you are in a relationship, sometimes it may be forever and ever, amen. But when you are being battered, you are being abused, and abuse doesn't have to necessarily be physical. It could be emotional. It could be mental. It could be verbal. It could be any of those things that is breaking your spirit and breaking you down. You have to understand that there is an expiration date, and you got to be okay with saying, that's it. There's better somewhere. I may not see better, but I know that better will come. And rest in, I know that better will come. But if you know what you need, and you know what is important to you, when the expiration date is staring you in your face, you got to make a decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of the time, I'm the devil's advocate on this program. So,
oh boy, what you got to say?
What would you say, Michael?
So, say again the actual topic. I want to make sure I heard it right because I sure can't see it because my glasses are somewhere.
Let me see it on yours. So the topic is, how do you identify the expiration date in a relationship, and why do people stay past that date?
Why do people stay past that date? That's the part that keeps hammering home. We had comfortableness. We've had not wanting to be alone. We've had children and all that other stuff.
Our finances are tied together.
It's hard to, and you said before, and I'm glad I can remember that you said, I didn't have a plan, or my plan was to whatever that plan was.
Right.
If we don't have the faith in ourselves and faith in God, we don't have faith that it's going to work out. That's why people stay. It's like, I don't have the faith to be able to say it's going to work out, or even if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be okay. Right. We're living in a life now where mental health is being pushed and understood, and we should have that. But part about mental health is knowing that I'm going to be okay.
Right.
And me being able to physically grab you, sorry for being so strong, but I've been working out. See that right there? See that? So right on time, Marvin.
Right.
See, that's what I'm talking about. We right
You see
here.
that right there?
Right
You see that
there,
right there? He gonna be eating good, though,
No,
on the
no,
show.
no, no. I'm finna,
Okay.
y'all. Now listen. I'm not sick. I'm about to go on something. Y'all gonna see half of me next month. I promise you. But
1 month is half.
I hope so. I don't
Wow,
know.
that's
No,
an
actually, I'm about. No. But anyway. But no, if I can't physically grab you and be knowing that it's okay, yeah, I'm going to be okay to know that you're here. I don't know how to understand that. And we're living in an instant society. I just sent money away to something just now while I was sitting here, and it instantly went away. Before we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Before we didn't have that instant society. If I want to see Martin on TV right now, I go Martin on my phone. Or if I want to see a movie from before, instant. Part of having faith is there's a gap of space where you don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And knowing that, it's like, woo. Whether it's an hour, whether it's 2 hours, whether it's 6 months. You said you had their last relationship was 2016. Mm-hmm. That's a long time. Mm-hmm. In the grandest scheme of things, that's a really long time. 6 years without having someone to go, you had to have the faith in yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to be able to get through this, however long it takes. And we all know how picky this one is. I'm not even.
Although I'm getting a little bit better with the pictures.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I hear you, Michael, but I'm just hoping that if someone is in a relationship and that relationship is not bringing them joy, it is clouding their peace, it is holding them back from being their best self, I would hope that they could muster up the courage to move on.
The problem
because
with-
you have to take care of yourself.
The
It's like
problem with
being
the-
on an airport, in an airplane, and you know that they say when that mask drops, you have to give oxygen
yourself.
to yourself first before you give it to your children. Because if you're giving it to your child, then who's giving you the air so that you can take care of your child? And I'm just saying that, and I'm not telling people, leave your family, just walk away. I am saying if this relationship is taking you down to a point where you can barely make it and you can't be who God made you to be, you need to walk.
The problem with that is, and you're absolutely right, I agree with you 100%. The problem with that is, remember in Jurassic Park when, I don't know if y'all remember that movie, but in Jurassic Park when he said, nature finds a way. Our natural, instinct is to find a way. And that can be a blessing and a curse. Because we always find a way. Well, he hit me upside the head, but, he don't swing as hard as he used to. What? You know what I'm saying? You have that's an exaggerated instance, but we do things like that because we find a way to make it okay. I love him. He's bad to me. He this, that, and I love her. She's this,
But
that, and
isn't
the
that
third.
settling?
It is.
And that's excuses.
It's excuses, but we
Right.
do it.
And can I tell you something about excuses?
Go ahead.
Excuses are the tools of the incompetent, which build monuments of nothingness. And those who specialize in excuses seldom excel in anything else.
Come on, somebody.
I can't put that on the shirt. Too much
Come
to put
on.
in the back.
Now, devil advocate that.
Got to
okay?
turn around. Wait a minute, I got some
Yeah.
more excuses of what she just said and get halfway in a dot,
That's
dot.
what-
It's on the back, so I got to turn
Don't
around.
make excuses for someone else's poor behavior.
That's
You're right.
We need to put that on a T-shirt.
You can't. It's too many words. Unless you put it
No,
slow.
you can make it
Like,
work.
You got to like little.
No, you can make that. Well, I need that on a shirt.
You need it on both
Right.
sides.
But y'all need to write that down, rewind that, and write it
Copyright it.
down
Hold
because
on.
that right there
Make
was
sure
a
you
gem.
Wait,
right?
was that somebody else or did you make
Yes,
it?
it is. I learned it when I pledged.
Oh,
see?
Back to AKA again.
You know, that's the perks of being
It's the
in a
green. It's the
sorrow.
green.
It's the green.
It's the green.
Yes.
It's
And
the
I've
green.
carried it for the rest of
It's the
all of my
green.
life. I've used it in so many situations.
Yeah, absolutely right. I totally agree with you.
And that definitely is going to help in relationships if you keep that mindset about excuses and don't settle. I get it. You run into a rough patch in your relationship. You don't want to walk away right away. But if you start noticing that things are just, it's dead. It's not going anywhere. You're not happy. You have no peace. Or if you find yourself looking at the next person, you know what I'm saying? That's that expiration thing. You got to get up out of there.
Choose yourself.
Choose yourself. Choose God. Choose yourself. And He will show you the way. But of course, we got a scripture. We got a scripture to match this topic. And this was the closest thing that I could find that was relatable to this. But I was in Proverbs. Proverbs 25:19 says, trusting in a treacherous man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. So be careful of who and what you're trusting in your relationship.
Because you will be bedabbled, wet and dirty.
Yes! That's all that scripture needed at the end. You know, with that word.
I'm still getting over that.
Come on and
definition.
clap for somebody.
I'm with this definition.
Bedabble?
Bedabble.
Bedabble.
Wet or dirty.
Wet or dirty.
You could just say like, oh, you
wet
just
or
bedabble. Just because dirty could be like, it could be a good thing too, right?
Nope.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
Okay.
We're
All
not doing that.
right. Sorry.
We're not doing
I'm
that.
not trying
We're
to go
not
to
doing that.
OnlyFans stuff. All right, y'all. Listen. We thank you so much. I hope y'all took away some really great things from this episode. We really appreciate you tuning in. And look, if you have any topics, or if you just want to share with us about one of the days or one of the situations or relationships that you in when you recognize or identify the expiration date, and what did you do? You know, did you stick it out? And what was the outcome? Or did you say, you know what, once that date came up, you were out the door, not one day over. You said, forget that spoiled milk. I ain't getting sick over this. I'm out of here.
And always remember, Nadiva takes office. So if the Lord will push you to bless her heart right now, her number and her thing will
My
be
cash
right
app.
there.
Thank
there you go, right there.
you.
See, go ahead, send it to her.
Yeah.
And then she ain't gonna give us none, but it's okay.
What you mean? I give y'all stuff. I give y'all free merch. Yeah. But look, we love you with the love of the Lord, but we gotta get up out of here, all right? Please be sure to tune in every Sunday at 8:00 p.m. And don't forget, we are also on the Inspired Living Network every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. But you guys want to come on every week because you want to check out these amazing co-hosts that I have on, because they got some really deep and dope gems to drop on y'all. This is some serious wisdom going on this table. So I thank y'all both for being here and just sharing all of your wisdom and your insight and perspective and points of views.
And insanity.
So thank you. And your insanity. And your funness. Yes. And your appetites. Yeah. So tune in next week because we got a great restaurant to feature on the show.
We do what we eat next week?
Yeah, we eat.
I knew something was missing.
I know. Just make sure you call your trainer. All right, y'all. We love you with the love of the Lord. But until the next time, stay divine. Ciao. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Dining with Nadiva show. Make sure to check us out on all the audio platforms like Spotify, Apple, Amazon, TuneIn. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.